Welcome everyone. Hello. Just setting up a few things before I go fully live and you get to see my mug and the mug I'm drinking from. Hopefully, sound is coming through for you guys. Let me know how the audio mixing is. I've never played or streamed this game, so it's gonna be interesting. Alright, I think things are set up well enough. Let's see. Good evening. And I'm gonna see how long I can stream in these damn fangs. Probably not more than an hour or two with the fangs in, but we will see. I actually know nothing about this game going into it. Did you ever finish the Dynamic Duo article? I have not. I set that aside for reading when I had the free time, and completely forgot about that. But I definitely should, because I'm intrigued, to say the least. At least from little bits that I caught. Alright. So, this is Vampire Therapist. I do not know if I am a vampire and a therapist for vampires, or both. But, yeah. Let's find out, shall we? Vampire Therapist explores or touches on sensitive topics such as war, abuse, addiction, sexual oppression, suicidal ideation, religion, and, of course, death. These may be uncomfortable or upsetting for some readers. We recommend that readers with a history of trauma related to any of these topics approach this game Approach this game with caution. Naturally, a game about vampires will also involve blood and sexual themes. Strong language is also present. Vampire Therapist was developed in consultation with licensed therapists, but should not be considered a substitute for therapy. Unless you're a vampire. Hey, guess what, y'all? Let's see what we've got.
My name is Sam Walls, and I'm a dead man.
Can y'all hear this all right?
Well, kinda dead at least. See, I'm a vampire. Now, if you think that means all that Dracula hooey, like hissing, wearing skin-tight leather, and hunting mortals for sport, I wouldn't blame you one bit. That's exactly the sort of thing I did in my younger years with my former gang. And let me tell you, a vampire who's good with a gun can be a real terror. I got lucky, though. I met some kind mortals who saw beyond my fangs. They taught me my letters and showed me how my thinking was keeping me from finding any kind of peace. After they passed on, I roamed America's majestic wilderness for nigh on 90 years, figuring out myself and what it means to be a vampire. And I found revelation. What I realized was,
Alban.
It ain't fangs that make us monsters. It's the self-defeating ways we think. Anywho, as the world started getting smaller, my old vampire gang tracked me down. Them being my kin, I wanted to help them see the world like I did, but they still have the same monster mindset I used to have. Good thing I'm a quick draw. But I got hooked up with this newfangled internet thing and found a vampire who's helping my kin find their way. A fella named Andromachos, supposed to be 3,000 years old.
Fucking what?
He invited me to come out to Europe to learn from him. I figure someone older than time has got to have the answers. I'm going on a trip, I guess. This feels like my opportunity to do some good in the world. I've been looking, and now it's time to give back. Vampires ain't monsters. Or at least, they don't have to be. And come hell or high water, I'm gonna prove it to them.
All right. So this is going to be touching on the more human side of being a vampire. Immernacht. Ah, yes, always night.
This is the address. Number 27, Clean Flitter Mouse Streeb?
Kleinfleidermastrasse, which is Small Field Mouse Street.
Sure is a hell of a lot of ruckus for this time of night. People stay up late here. Wait a minute. These folk are vampires. Better watch myself. Guten Abend, folks. Sprechen Sie English?
You know what? Fucking close enough, buddy.
Ja, hello, Alta. Are you here to party with us at the hottest club?
Alright, I'm digging the art already, and the fact that it's fully voiced saves my ass.
I don't think what I'm wearing will fit the dress code.
The cowboy look is totally sexy, but you will get a bit sweaty.
I hope we will all get a bit sweaty.
Good thing we run a little on the cold side, huh?
Don't worry, my Liebling. We make each other warm.
Reinhard, stop. Don't scare the American. I want to do that.
Maxi Liebchen, you're so naughty tonight.
No, you...
Oh, I definitely ain't an American no more. Well, what's so special about this club?
Immernacht is the greatest club aller Zeiten. The owner makes sure
Greatest club
everyone
of all
has a
time.
good time.
If anyone acts without respect, they are banned from the club forever.
Hey.
You are free to do and be whatever you like, as long as you are harming no one.
Oh, fuck yeah, I can get behind that.
And I hear that they are now attracting sexy old cowboys.
Shh, Maxi, he is old enough to be your grandfather.
A couple times over.
Oh, come on now. You're just flattering me. I'm only a couple 100 years old.
Oh mein Gott, he is so cute, Reinhard. Can I keep him?
I'm looking for Andromachos.
You mean the club owner? Ja, that is why we are here.
If you're lucky, he will invite us to the private party at the
Ooh,
end of the night.
private party. I wonder if this cowboy can get down.
Well, what happens there?
I think maybe it is too kinky for Americans to hear.
Oh, damn.
I can cut loose. What kind of party is this?
The kind where we dance all night and get sexy.
Oh, you're them kind of vampires.
Ach so, there are better things to suck than blood, are there?
Damn straight.
Although we have to get past the bouncer first. If we do not, I'm thinking our night is ruined.
Oh, wait a sec. There's something about what she just said. I can feel it. It reminds me of one of my revelations about the funny patterns in the way we vampires think.
Oh, they need to be invited in by the bouncer. Fuck off.
Well, let's see. One type of thinking I noticed I called hot branding. That's when we brand ourselves with names we can't get rid
Wait, what?
of.
Hot branding. Brand ourselves with names.
There's high noon mind. That's when we treat a situation like it's a do-or-die showdown.
Okay. I knew in mind it do or die.
And there's saloon thinking. That's when we act either helpless or invincible, like we've just drunk a pint of moonshine.
Thinking like you're drunk as fuck.
I can always check my journal if I need examples.
Oh.
I kept all my notes about the funny ways we vampires think in there.
I am the therapist.
I think I know which one of them funny ways they're thinking in, though. Hold on, compadres. You seem like the kind who can make their own fun.
I don't want to have my own fun. Immernacht is the only place to be on Friday night.
Okay, so yeah, they're having a do or die thing going on. It's clearly a high noon mindset. Is this more of a puzzle game?
Amigos, you're putting too much weight on this thing. It's a nightclub, not a high noon showdown. The night's full of possibilities.
Reinhardt, I don't know what this means, but I like the way the sexy American talks.
You make us think that maybe it is better we haven't gotten into the club.
God, I'm
Because
digging
we
the
are
music,
not
though.
meeting you.
Hey, if meeting me makes your night better, I'm glad we met. I really gotta find Andromachos, though.
You have to get past the bouncer. He decides who gets in and who doesn't. And he hasn't looked our way all night.
Maybe I'll have a little word with him. Excuse me, friend.
Oh, he's an
Who do you talk
Nosferatu.
to around these parts?
Dr. Dillon, what kind of therapist are you? Technically I have a doctorate in divinity, but that's not a real thing. So... You know, I'm not a doctor in anything. Let's just say that.
I'm here to see Andromachos.
Oh, what kind of therapist are you? I am trying to think of a joke that isn't sex therapist, but I can't come up with one.
Have fun, mate.
Hey, thanks, amigo. You have yourself a fine night, you hear?
Cowboy, what about her?
Yeah, sure, they're friends of mine.
Have fun, mate.
Have fun, mate. An Australian Nosferatu.
Well, come on, you two. We ain't got all night. Yeah. Dang, awful loud in here.
Come on, my liver, dance with us!
Oh, you kids have fun. I'll catch up with you later. Tarnation, I'd rather hear a gopher giving birth than this.
Man, he has bad taste in music.
I better talk to whoever's slinging drinks in this here saloon. They ought to know where Andromachos is. But pardon me, ma'am.
Well, well, look at you.
Oh, hi.
We get a lot of 80s fashion in here, but not usually the 1880s. What can I get you, cowboy? The special's Red Bull and vodka. You down?
That's your special? You don't have any, like, in-house cocktails? You have a fucking Red Bull and vodka?
I never drink Red Bull. I'm actually looking for the owner. He around tonight?
Might be. What do you say your name was?
Sam Walls, begging your pardon.
Sam Walls, huh? I don't think I know anything about a Sam Walls. After all, I'm just a know-nothing bartender.
Okay, she's branding herself as just a bartender. Meanwhile, we know she's more than that. She's got hopes, dreams, and style.
From where I'm standing, I see someone with style and confidence, not just a drink machine. Don't go branding yourself like that's all you are.
Don't you go worrying about me, cowboy. The man upstairs warned me you were coming. I was just testing to see if you are who you say you are. Tell you what, let me give you something from our special reserve. I don't think you're looking for booze.
Well, thank you kindly, ma'am. I was wondering where the blood was. I met some vampires outside, so I figured this was a vampire club.
It's a cheap bar with just Red Bull and vodka. Yeah. However, I'm seeing like a bottle of brandy at least. Because that looks like some of the stuff I've got. Most of these are generic looking bottles, but brandy's the clear one. Can't really pick anything out. You got a lime wheel, which means I'm going to assume there's tequila-based beverages. This isn't Bartender Glass of God. I can't really tell what's fully going on.
You met some gods, honey. They're here to dance and have fun.
So all these people are mortals?
How do you think the head vampire gets his blood? They can't wait to share it with him. It's a special experience. He's the only real vampire here. Well, him and Bert.
Bert's the doorman.
Bert.
You met him already. Bert, shuffle on over here. This one's here to see the big guy. Show him upstairs, okay?
Have fun, mate.
I love Bert. Oh.
Good luck up there, cowboy. Hope you find what you're looking for.
Oh, Bert's great.
Howdy. It's Sam Walls to see you, sir. The guy who's been sending you all them V-mails.
Yes, I know who you
Oh.
are, Samuel.
Oh, no.
Wells.
He's
You have come
hot.
here because you believe you can help our kin. The question is, are you first able to help yourself?
Oh, that's a good voice too. Oh no. Can you help yourself? This feels like a trick question, but I'm just gonna say I can.
I've been fixing myself for more than a century now. I don't think I need help.
Then you must prepare to learn a most difficult lesson. We all need help, Samuel. I am pleased that you have come to receive mine.
Oh yeah, he's hot. Damn. Uh-oh.
Dang, you scared the heck out of me.
You must allow an ancient vampire his games. He will play them regardless. Please, sit down. What an absolute pleasure it is to meet you at last. I found your messages most intriguing.
Afraid there ain't much here in the way of intrigue. I'm just a lonesome cowboy looking for answers.
You know, I receive emails every day from vampires seeking my help. You are the very first to seek my aid in helping others. This alone makes you intriguing.
Well, dang. I think you're going to be sorely disappointed when you get to talking to me. I'm just honored you're giving me the time of night.
Oh, Sam doesn't think very highly of himself.
I have unlimited time, Samuel. I am pleased to share some of it with you. Our kind can be rather set in their ways. It is inspiring to see someone so young and eager to learn.
So, I mean, I am a tenth his age.
Yeah, well, I wasn't much for learning when I was alive. Just making up for lost time, I guess.
It sounds as though you have been handling your own life better than most. I was particularly intrigued by these revelations you had while walking in nature.
Oh, yeah, them. Well, I give walking the credit. Nothing sorts my thoughts out better. After a few decades, I started seeing patterns in the way we vampires think.
Can you explain some of these patterns?
Well, yeah, we got high noon mind, saloon thinking, and hot branding.
I've tried to explain them to other vampires, but it ain't never gone well. I can try, though. See, we tend to assume certain things just because we've been believing them since we were alive.
Very stuck in our ways, yeah.
Or we decide the world's against us just because we're hungry or tired or something. And when we start tackling problems that ain't real, we ain't fixing our real problems. That make any kind of sense?
Yeah.
Fascinating, Samuel. These revelations that you had in the woods, mortal psychologists have a term for them. They are called cognitive distortions.
Oh no. Am I going to be helping vampires with some CBT?
Cognitive whoozy what now?
Cognitive distortions. They are exactly as you described them. I will explain in a moment. Please, tell me about these specific revelations you had.
Well, I noticed how we stress ourselves out by making everything a battle of do-or-die absolutes. High noon mind, I call it. Like that feeling you get right before a big shootout.
I must confess I have no experience with this feeling. I engaged in Mortal Kombat long before the age of gunpowder.
Hold on. I don't believe that. I do not believe you. You're only 3,000 years old. I'm fairly certain. Hold on. Okay. Not long before the age of gunpowder. Like 100 years before the age of gunpowder.
But the sentiment you describe mirrors the words of my old friend Marky Aurelius.
Marky Aurelius! Marky! Ah! Fucking thing fell out.
Worst selves.
You can't call Marcus Aurelius Marky! Oh my god. Ugh.
You mean Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor?
Of course, his name was Marcus. Marky was a bedroom name.
Oh. Really?
You mean you and the emperor were...
Hell yeah.
It was ancient Rome. Penetration was similar to a handshake.
I am going to keep my handshaking jokes to myself then.
My apologies. I somehow forgot you were American. But let us discuss this high noon mind.
Ah.
I believe we can broaden your definition. Mortal psychologists call this phenomenon of binary thought polarized thinking, but I like to call it Nosferatu thinking.
Nosferatu thinking?
It means you are thinking in black and white.
Fuck you! Ah.
I get it.
I believe it encompasses the breadth of the distortion. One is not flatly weak or strong, good or evil, smart or stupid, a success or a failure. The truth is far more complex and colorful. Not every
Fair.
high-noon gunfight ends in oblivion, correct?
But yeah, that's true. Getting shot still ain't fun, but it ain't the end neither.
Well, at least for you.
A perfect example, Samuel. Now, try to catch me using Nosferatu thinking. I will give you a series of statements, and one of them will contain Nosferatu thinking. I will repeat them if you miss it. If I
Okay.
do not drink blood, I will surely die.
Wait a second, I thought it was a saloon thing. I mean, yeah, that
Is that Nosferatu thinking?
apparently not.
No, Samuel. In this case, I am not arguing with reality. If we do not drink blood,
Okay.
we die. This is a fact of being a vampire. Let us continue.
Okay.
Death eventually comes for us all. Mortals will always fear our kind.
Welcome back, little weeb soul. Hope you're having a fantastic day before, before your evening really begins. Mortals will always fear our kind. That does feel like you're thinking in black and white.
That's Nosferatu thinking right there. I've met mortals who knew who I was and weren't scared.
Very good, Samuel. And even if you hadn't, to say mortals will always fear us ends any hope that they might not. Always is such a terminal word, is it not? Would you like to discuss more of your revelations with me?
Yeah, fuck it.
I realize that as vampires, we can get the feeling of the power that comes with immortality and strength, but then we get hopeless and aimless over time. It's kind of like the fella you see in the saloon at the bottom of a bottle of whiskey. Either he thinks he can fight everyone, or he's crying into them last drops because he thinks life's hopeless. It's saloon thinking. Two extremes that probably ain't true.
A fascinating observation, Samuel. Your saloon thinking was described in my time as the battle between hubris and nemesis, the twin
Oh, you're not
excesses
working
of
tonight,
arrogance and
mostly
self-pity.
just weekends up at the haunt. Well, I wish you the best of luck on the nights that you are working, because, oh boy. Yeah, oh, fucking haunts, man. I'm glad I don't work at them anymore. I miss it a lot, but I just can't deal with the drama related to it, especially your haunt.
Oh man, it make me wish I'd gotten some schooling. Maybe I would have figured this stuff out earlier.
You live forever, my friend. There is no rush. What you have identified is a phenomenon where individuals perceive either an illusion of control or a lack of control. Mortal psychologists call this phenomenon you have described a control fallacy.
Whether they are completely in control of a situation or they have no control whatsoever.
Rarely
Okay.
do we have complete power over our situations or no power at all. But we create this illusion that stops us from attempting to change our perceived situations.
Yeah, you're right about that. I used to think I'd never get away from my gang, and maybe that's what made me stick with them for so long.
Don't attack me.
Yes.
Like
see,
that? Fuck
cognitive
you, Sam.
distortions keep us from
Fuck
facing
you,
reality,
Andromachos.
whatever that reality may be. Of course, I am so old and powerful that I am always in control.
You're testing me, ain't you? That's a control fallacy right there.
Well done, Samuel. I am indeed very powerful, but the cosmos holds no awareness of Andromachos.
As much as I hate the drama up there, I'm mostly glad certain stuff has changed, but I completely understand why. Oh man, back when I worked there, the drama was even worse. It was before anyone that I know actually worked there, aside from more people who actually haven't worked there in years, like Colby and Shelby. But yeah, it was fucking ages ago, and it was so much worse then, but now it is still a bit of a mess from what I've heard. But yeah, haunts are... I mean, you get a bunch of goth teenagers together and have them underneath some variety of elder goth with control issues, and then at the top you have a businessman who's a piece of... Anyway. Yeah. Haunts, man. It is just high school.
Of course, as you expertly
And
pointed out,
everyone's
the
fucking everyone, so
terminology
it's like
of a
drama
man
class in
holding
high
a whiskey
school.
bottle, a control fallacy can be positive or negative. Listen to my next few statements and try to find a control fallacy. Simply let me continue if you do not detect one. The sun will eventually burn out. I will roam a cold, dead earth, and there is little I can do about it.
I'm glad the season's going a bit better for you this year, Weepsel. I want to try like volunteering at another haunt for just like a couple weekends, but I don't have it. I don't have it in me anymore. I can only get punched in the face so many damn times, and being a big guy, I tend to be a target for people who think they can start shit. So it's not really my thing anymore. There's little he can do about it, but there isn't nothing. Huh. I mean, those are true statements.
My kitty cat died. I shall be lonely forever.
I'm
Wait,
sorry
oh.
about your sweet kitty, but
I accidentally just
you can always
unplugged
pick
my
up a new one.
headphones.
Or there's lots of them just waiting for a loving home, so you don't need to be lonely.
It was just an example, Samuel. Well spotted. but I do speak from experience. I felt this way once when a pharaoh I was dating had our cat mummified. I went into a murderous depression that nearly...
A murderous depression!
But I had the power to help myself all along by adopting a new friend in need of a home.
Ooh.
Oh, dang, don't let me get on your bad side.
I doubt you shall see it, Samuel. Did you have more revelations to tell me about?
See, I used to be in a gang. They were my whole existence. If you asked me who I was, I would have said, I'm a murdering bastard. Once I got away, I realized how small-minded that was. I was Sam before I was a murdering bastard, but that's how I was choosing to brand myself. My old gang's still around, and they're still branding themselves like that. They can't see themselves as anything but killers.
Very astute, Samuel. I favor the clinical term, however, which is labeling. You
Right.
correctly discovered that labeling is a reductive act. When we call ourselves names, even if we find them accurate, we create prophecies we are doomed to fulfill. For millennia, I thought of myself as a killer. It was not untrue that killing was how I made my way in the world. I was an unstoppable warrior and assassin.
I gotta ask, why would someone get punched at a haunt? For me, it's because I was usually the tallest person in the haunt, and I was always jumping up at people. And you always have these assholes who want to be in control of a situation, and they respond with a punch when they get jump scared. For example, one of my first years working at a haunt, it wasn't the one Weebsol works at, it's a different one. I had an outdoor clown maze, and I had jumped over a fence at the outdoor clown maze to get right in someone's face. And this was someone I knew from high school. And I got up in their face and was like, "What's the matter, Brittany? Are you scared?" And she just fucking decked me. I deserved it. But that is one reason someone would punch.
But with this label, I limited myself for ages. I did not only kill people, I also killed potential aspirations I might have had.
Oh man, this game is actually making me think about how I think of myself, and that's weird.
See whether you can catch me doing some labeling in my next few statements. I
Okay.
am so old, I am ancient.
I mean, that's not really labeling, that's just stating a fact. You are literally ancient.
Call me whatever you like, but don't call me late for dinner.
Haha.
How shall I describe myself? Yes, I am a mass murderer.
Well, that's about as clear a labeling as it gets. Yeah, we vampires tend to do a lot of killing, but reducing ourselves to killers ain't doing us any favors.
Excellent, Samuel. You are correct. Labels can be cages that we lock ourselves in. I was a mere murderer for most of my existence because that is how I labeled myself.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Sam Walls, the murderer, reprobate, and good for nothing.
Those are not how I would describe the Sam Walls I see before me. Did you have more revelations to tell me?
I think that's all of them. Or at least the ones that were the most obvious to me.
That you recognize the concept of cognitive distortions at all is most impressive, Samuel. What took me nearly 3 millennia to understand took you merely 2 centuries.
Oh, come on, you're just flattering me. I'm just a dope stumbling his way through one life.
Are you now? Tell me, Samuel, what kind of cognitive distortion?
Yeah, I'm doing some labeling. I gotta watch myself, huh?
As long as we retain any humanity, we will have cognitive distortions. What we are aiming for is not to become
Some
perfect
tea
beings,
bebefore
but to
going.
understand and
Little
accept
Weebsol's feel
ourselves.
free to share some tea about their current haunt. I can share an interesting one about my old haunt. This was over 15 years ago now, which makes me feel really fucking old to say. I was working at a haunt, kind of in the sticks, but it has a reputation of being one of the best in the country. it was really fucking intense. Always packed every single night. And I was the Jackal from 13 Ghosts. So I had to spend about 3 hours a night getting my makeup done. Not all at once. There were a bunch of us that had really intricate makeup done. One night, I was getting my makeup done. They were doing initially, before any base coats or anything, they did rigid collodion to draw the lines on my face in to make my face sunken and sharp. And I had to sit still in that chair the entire time. As that was going on, I heard a crash from outside of the makeup room, and I just kind of gently tilted my head out and discovered there were 2 women with the same name at our haunt. Let's call them Raven. There were 2 ravens at the haunt. One of them was short, adult. I think they owned like a pet store or something. The other one was a tall, lanky teenager. And it turns out that short adult Raven had been sleeping with tall teenager Raven's boyfriend, who was much closer to adult Raven's age. And that is just, it broke out into this giant fight in the haunt, which made them change the rules that no one was allowed on haunt property before call time if they were not getting extensive makeup done. And it was just to discourage the fight happening on premises. They were fine if people were fighting. They didn't want it to happen in the building. And they've then changed things significantly. Now you're not even allowed to date people who work at the haunt. They've changed a lot of that up. But haunts are nothing but drama. It is a bunch of theater kids in hot clothing in close proximity to each other for hours in a night. Shit happens.
As long as we can recognize cognitive distortions, we can address our real challenges.
But remember, address your cognitive distortions. Do not label yourself just a haunted house actor, or just this role that you are doing. Broaden your horizons. If you think, oh, I'm only good at doing pop scares. No, fuck that shit. You're more than that. You are an experienced haunted house professional. You, if you want, can do the long story haunts. You can do the slow, creeping scares. Or, in fact, you can do one of my favorite varieties of scare, which is to just lure someone to you to line them up for someone else to get a scare. Joe Pickle absolutely gooning for the big suck. Yes, Remington, I am. In fact, you know, I'm not gonna say what I was going to say. I mean, just look at the people on my screen.
One cannot drink blood from a straw man, after all.
I still suck at dialogue roles and need more practice? Hey, fucking practice. What's stopping you?
Huh. I ain't never heard that one before, but I like it.
If it helps solidify the concept in your mind, then I am well satisfied.
One cannot suck blood from a straw, man. That is a fucking hard
I know
line.
you came to learn from me, so I will do my best to honor your good intentions. Let us ensure that you understand the concepts of labeling, control fallacies, and Nosferatu thinking. I will give you a series of statements, and each one will contain a cognitive distortion for you to identify. I will begin. If I invite over my vampire friends, I know I'm going to have to deal with guano all over the place when they turn into bats at the end of the night.
Well, that ain't right. He's acting powerless, like a man clinging to the whiskey bottle. What Andromaco say that distortion was?
Okay, so the tutorial is actually quite helpful on this
If
one.
I invite over my vampire friends,
Well, there's a control fallacy, sir. You're acting like you've got no control, but you could lay down some ground rules for guests, or some newspaper.
or express concern to my friends that they have not been toilet trained. Very good, Samuel. Let me try another. I am Andromachos, the ancient darkness, the scourge of the Mediterranean, the mortal's bane.
I mean, that is labeling, but also that's just fucking verbal masturbation.
Well, that's definitely some intense labeling. Those are some hard names to get over.
You are not wrong. Those names followed me for millennia. It was most stifling. Let me try another then. If my club's revenues do not significantly increase, I will end up living on the street.
That there's got to be Nosferatu thinking. There's a huge space between making a ton of profit and living on the street.
Indeed, you are correct. I run my club at a considerable loss, but 3,000 years of banking interest means that money is not really an object to me.
3,000 years of interest? Holy shit, dude.
Samuel, now I am not only intrigued by you, but also impressed. I would very much like to teach you my ways, but I must demand something of you first.
Uh-oh. What are you demanding of me, big guy?
Anything. I'm here to learn.
You must receive therapy yourself. I will not have you seeing clients without a commitment to your own mental health.
Oh, now, hold on just a minute. I don't know that I need therapy. I'm feeling pretty good about myself these days.
Samuel, we all need therapy to live in this world. You have been speaking in cognitive distortions since the moment you walked into my office.
I have. I didn't even notice.
They are most insidious, but I am here to help you identify and challenge them. You have walked alone for too long, Samuel. Allow me to share my experience with you.
Aww.
Well, all right, if you say so. I appreciate your taking the time to work on this old cowpoke.
Oh, he's gonna be doing more than... Never mind.
We have all the time in the world, Samuel. But for now, you must be eager for something fresh. Please.
Which
advance.
bank is
Drink your fill.
3,000
We will
years
begin tomorrow.
old, though? Oh, hold on. Which bank? Hold on. There should be one. There has to be, right? Oldest bank in the world. No, never mind. Currently, the oldest bank is only, like, 1,600 years old. Hello, AJ. Should I hop in voice chat so you can gremlin?
Okay, then. Well, sir, it's been an honor.
You don't have to call me sir, you know.
Not tonight, but okay.
All right, then, Andromachos.
Andromachos.
Andromachos. Oh, yeah, he's Greek.
Hey, Andromachos.
Just call me Andy.
Andy. Aw. Just wanted to drop in and say howdy. Just like good old
All
Sam
right,
here.
Andy. I'll see you tomorrow, then. Dang, look at all them mortals, sweating, blood pumping. I am thirsty, but there ain't no power on this earth that'll get me on a dance floor.
Oh, come on, Sam. I'm sure you can bust a move.
Maybe I'll see if the bartender's got anything for me.
If it isn't Clint Eastwood again, how'd it go, cowboy?
Seems I'll be sticking around. Guess I better get used to things around here.
Good to hear. About time someone helped Andy with his work. Seems you vampires have a lot of problems to fix. Name's Crimson, by the way.
Fine meeting you, Crimson. How do you know so much about what Andy's doing?
Oh no, they're all hot. Oh, AJ, you have no fucking clue.
Pillow talk. I'm his blood partner.
Ooh.
No shit. How's a mortal get hooked up with an ancient vampire?
I'm a rock climber. I stumbled into one of his lairs in Madagascar, found a cave while climbing a mountain, and there he was, naked in a hot tub.
Yeah?
Dang. Must have been a sight.
You ain't kidding, cowboy. Didn't expect a luxury apartment with a gorgeous naked vampire inside of a mountain. We hit it off, and he asked me to come back here with him. I like an adventure, so I said, what the hell? I'll date the gorgeous Dracula.
Yeah. That is... always.
What are you doing talking to me, cowboy? The blood's running hot on the dance floor, and these kids don't mind a little biting.
Ain't no way I'm dancing. There's gotta be a better way to get some fresh to drink.
Reinhard, look.
Oh, there
It's
they
the
are.
sexy old guy again.
You should buy us a drink, old guy. You'll probably get lucky. Actually, you'll definitely get lucky.
Pleasures of the flesh ain't exactly what I'm after tonight.
That's because you haven't experienced these pleasures with us yet. Buy us a drink and you will discover great satisfaction by uns.
Welcome, welcome, Tails. This is a hell of a stream for you to hop in on. I can be a dick. Tell them they're not my type. I would be lying. Tell them alcohol's bad for them. That's a dumb statement. Tell them I don't have the money. Probably not true. Tell them they can support themselves. Help them become better people. Sure.
I ain't buying you a drink. I think I'd be insulting your economic status.
Mein Lieber, don't worry about us. We just like to feel special.
Okay.
We have lucrative jobs in IT.
Of course you do.
Oh yeah? Well, maybe you can help me. See, my printer.
Oh God, Sam,
I'm
no.
tired of these things.
Please, we are here to party. But get a laser printer.
Well, thanks for the tip. That ink seems to be more valuable than blood.
Are you gonna make me exhaust these dialogue options? Come on. Have a good evening, little weeb soul. Am I broke? Am I a broke cowboy?
I ain't buying you a drink. All I got are good old-fashioned dollars.
I got American dollars. Okay.
I like American money. All we have on our money are buildings. You have all the sexy old men.
Maxie? You've got problems, girl.
All right, I'll buy it. Which of them old men are sexy?
I like Hamilton. His posture is just so powerful.
I had an ex-girlfriend's dad make me some custom-fitted fangs. Love those things. These are actually just, cheap-ass scarecrows. But they were like a 4-pack. And you can just mold the adhesive yourself. It's super easy.
There is a dollar coin that has Eisenhower's face on it.
Oh, you are right. Eisenhower is, how do you Americans say, a snack?
Y'all got problems.
I get it. You like older men. I ain't buying you a drink. This stuff's terrible for you.
Sam.
Are you making a joke? We are at a bar.
It's okay. He's just trying to be protective. Aren't you, Opa?
Don't call me Opa. No, no, no. 999.
You know, I think the drinks here ain't strong enough for you, too. I ain't buying you a drink. You ain't exactly my type.
Oh, we don't want to marry you. We just want to have fun with you.
Okay, yeah, no, that, just saying that alone would, yeah, okay,
You kids are too much. Well, these kids just ain't gonna leave me alone.
Alright.
Stop teasing the cowboy, Kinder. They're just messing with you. Drinks are free here.
What? The club operates at a loss. Drinks are free. Oh.
Dang, really? Ain't never been to a saloon with free hooch.
Call it a drink exchange.
Huh. So, everyone here knows they might be sharing blood?
Only as long as there's consent. We like to create a safe environment here.
Damn straight.
Why don't you take Reinhard and Maxie here back to the kink room?
I beg your pardon.
Wait, kink room?
Mm-hmm. You're not in Kansas anymore, cowboy. We are not afraid of sex here.
I'm from Missouri, but, point taken.
There is no sexual, like, visual sexual content in this. So y'all are aware. No nudity. We don't need to worry about that. I double-checked the store page.
Nobody has to do anything they don't want to do in there. Just have fun and drink your fill, handsome. I'm sure I'll be seeing plenty of you.
Bloodlines 3 will not be done by Paradox. Yeah, we know that much at least. BTS, the Bloodlines 2 debacle. God, is there anything new on that game? Last I saw was that fucking garbage trailer from the version Chinese Room were making, and it made me viscerally angry. It got delayed even further. Naturally. The game is coming across like a pure fucking mess, and I do not think Paradox should have had the IP in the first place. They did great with the first one, with Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I think they only produced it. I don't think they developed it, though. But it needs completely new blood. It needs an indie studio with a passion for being fucking weird. And the depth that you can't get from a AAA studio anymore. You can't have proper fucking immersive sim depth from a AAA studio nowadays. That will not sell. It will not make them enough money. Everyone will be disappointed. It'll tank financially, yada, yada, yada. No, it needs to be done by an indie team with passion.
Maxie, Reinhard, this is one of our special customers.
Ach so, ein Vampir. I'm thinking we are all getting lucky then.
Oh, they didn't know I was a vampire. They just wanted to fuck an old man. I don't know if I want to bite you.
My neck throbs with anticipation.
Dang. Guess I'm going to a kink room then. Thanks, Crimson.
I knew a man who wore this much leather couldn't be boring.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, well, you got me pegged.
Did you see the Uzumaki issues? After episode 1, Adult Swim fired everyone, hired a shitty studio who outsourced everything. The quality... So, we might actually end up discussing that on an upcoming episode. I think I want to reach out to... I'm going to talk to Sean, see if that's something we want to do. And I want to see if I can find someone who initially worked on the show. And see if we can get just someone to chat with us about the development process, because the animation industry is fucked. Every industry is fucked. Industry is fucked. Capitalism's fucked.
Is that what we are doing now? Give me the document and I will sign myself up for it.
Well, I really ain't in Missouri no more. Look, I'm more into biting.
Oh, your teeth look perfect. Are you going to bite me with those?
What else would I bite you with?
That's the plan. Who's going first?
Oh, me.
Well, step right on up.
Can I not,
Oh, das hat sich gut angefühlt.
That feels so good. Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Is it my turn yet?
Sure thing. Come on over.
Nicht meine Arterien.
Shucks, my aim's off tonight. Oh, shucks, I missed.
Do you need me to guide you, Honigmörchen?
Okay, but can I not control... Okay, so I just need to click on the vein. Do I just need to click?
Oh, shucks, I missed.
Do you need me to guide you, Honigmörchen? Oh, Reinhard, the hot old vampire wore me out.
Me too, Maxie. I feel as though I have set up a mail server.
Reinhard, mein Zucker Fledermaus. Ich bin so müde, sexy zu sein.
I will get us a taxi cab, Liebchen. Und du, Cowboy? Next time we will talk about that thing you mentioned earlier.
I can't remember what I mentioned earlier.
Oh yeah, sure thing, fella. You can help me with my new laser printer. Now that
Oh,
I've had
the
something
printer.
to drink, I should probably get to my coffin.
I have a
Samuel,
coffin?
wait a moment. I see you got your fill. Are you heading out?
Yeah, I figure I could use some shut-eye. I locked up my coffin over at the storage center.
Storage center. Please, you can use my guest coffin. I insist. You must be well rested for the challenges ahead.
Oh. Well, if I'm
Guess I gotta
using
get
your
night
guest
tomorrow,
coffin.
huh? I should get a good day's sleep.
Wonderful. Please, follow me.
Yes, sir.
Well, dang. This
There's
is
a TV in the coffin!
damn smart. Let's see what's on TV. Hey, I remember this movie. We were so proud to finally get some representation. Not sure I should stay up watching movies, though. Well, ain't much else to do in here. I think it's about time I hit the hay. Hope I'm cut out for all this.
Oh my god. Oh.
Samuel, good evening.
God, I love
hope
the
you slept
soundtrack
well.
of this game.
Like the dead, as they say.
I was hoping to save you some breakfast, but I've already sent them on their way.
You sent your breakfast
Oh,
on
that's
their way.
all right. I'm still pretty full from last night. Them goth types were practically throwing themselves at me.
I am not surprised. Perhaps I should be concerned that some of my guests will follow you home.
Well, gosh, if I still had mortal circulation, I'd be blushing.
Why are you so embarrassed, Samuel?
Oh, Sam doesn't think very highly of himself.
Oh, hell. Guess we should just save it for therapy, huh? We gonna get started now?
If you like.
Why not? I'm eager to get going. Let loose, Doc.
I'm here just wondering how
Very
big
well.
was that coffin?
Let's start. with
People
the
ask
first
that all the
question
time.
Any therapist asks then. What brought you to me? Why is becoming a therapist so important to you?
Well, gosh, I remember what it was like. Being all angry, hungry, and scared all the time. It ain't no way to live. When I see vampires acting the way I used to, I just need to show them there's more to unlife.
And why is that up to you?
You, of all people, know how lost our kind can be. Preying on the weak, dating mortal high schoolers.
Ew.
I've got to make them see their potential. That's what I'm here for. I know it.
You can't make them, Sam. You can only help them find the
That
truth
is a
within
lot of responsibility
themselves.
to place on yourself.
You got a funny look in your eye. Am I doing one of them distortion things?
You are most perceptive. Yes. Perhaps you can tell me what it is. When you say you are here to make vampires see the world differently, in what way are you distorting reality?
That would be a control fallacy, I believe.
Well, I guess that's a
Yeah.
control fallacy, right? I can't assume I'll be able to help other vampires the way I was helped.
Exactly. You can only help open the door for them. It's their decision if they want to
Very
go
good,
through.
Samuel. Control fallacies are hard to avoid when one feels strongly about something.
I feel Rem would enjoy this.
Your fate is not to transform every vampire you ever meet, even those who are your clients. You will do what you can do, and that is enough. But I am eager to learn how you develop this desire to help our kin find a different way of thinking.
Well, like I told you when I first V-mailed you, I was a real nasty son of a bitch when I first became a vampire. When I look back and see what a no-account piece of shit I was, I ain't nothing but embarrassed. It all seems pretty stupid to me now. Here we are living forever and all we can do is kill? It's the dumbest thing I ever did here.
I mean, that's just humanity in a nutshell, buddy.
I'm going to stop you for a moment. Stupid, no account piece of shit, nasty son of a bitch, dumbest thing.
You say that as if you are no longer those
Do you hear the
things.
way you are talking about yourself?
With respect, sir, I earned all them names. I killed women and children. Half the ghost towns out west are my doing. I didn't think of nobody but myself.
Pretend you are my therapist. If I sat here and called myself a no-account piece of shit, what would you tell me?
I'd say you were doing some labeling. And I guess I'd tell you to look at yourself a little more kindly.
Exactly, Sam. Be more kind to yourself.
Extend the same compassion to yourself then, Samuel. How are you to move on from being a nasty son of a bitch if you are labeling yourself? If you wish to be a guide to other vampires, you must start with compassion for them and for yourself.
And you can't be compassionate to others if you're not first compassionate to
Now
yourself.
that you've gotten all that horrible name-calling out of the way, please tell me, how did you find your sense of purpose?
Well, I was on the run, you see. The Wild West was ending and the Pinkertons were starting to get the better of my gang. I went into hiding and found a strange group of folks out in the country. They knew I was an outlaw right away, but they didn't judge me for it. They didn't even care that I was a vampire. They welcomed me like a friend, even shared their blood with me.
Was it? Hold on.
They taught me how to appreciate the beauty of the night, and I started seeing things
Okay.
I'd never noticed before. They taught me my letters, philosophy, and how to question things instead of being scared of them.
Huh.
I think about them every day of my own life. They somehow freed themselves of all the judgments of the time and were better off for it.
And who were these people, Sam?
These must have been the 19th century American transcendentalists, yes?
Transcendental?
Yes, sir. I'm glad I died when I did, because their like just don't exist no more.
Not true.
Once my community died out, I started walking. That was something else they taught me how to do. There ain't nothing like having a walk and a think.
They had taught me how to walk. Before that, I was only crawling or riding a horse.
I walked in nature for about 90 years and just took in all the grace and beauty of my country. I guess I was kind of selfish, though. I should have been helping other vampires the way the Transcendentalists helped me.
You were helping yourself first, and you know that's important.
Why?
Why waste 90 years walking when I should have been helping others? Seems pretty obvious to me. I could have done a lot of good in that time.
But your should turns that which you could find fulfilling into a duty. You create an extrinsic motivator. Good statements are another cognitive distortion, something created by your own mind. Nature asks almost nothing of you. Even
Fair.
if your should comes from a place of good, it creates undue pressure.
Okay, so putting more pressure on yourself than is required.
And what do we do once we are pressured? We resent the shoulds. We procrastinate. And as you know, we have a lot of time to procrastinate.
You got that right. Why do today what you could do next century?
Exactly. Should statements remove the intrinsic joy from that which you find fulfilling?
Hold on, though. Ain't there some things we really should do?
Of
Yes.
course, there are things we must do. But nature herself tells us what they are. We invent the rest. Here, let me give you an exercise.
Alright,
Listen closely.
let's see what's
whether you
up.
can find the should statement that is a distortion.
Okay.
I should go to the vampire dentist. You know what they say. If you have bad fangs, you get bad blood. I should drink blood today.
No, you should definitely do that.
I should take my blood partner Crimson out on a date. I should be wary of sexually transmitted diseases.
You need to be wary of
If
those.
you missed my should statement, let's try again. I should go to the vampire dentist. You know what they say. If you have
Okay, it's the statement on Crimson.
I should take my blood partner Crimson out on
Saying you should take Crimson out on a date is a should statement.
Yep,
You've turned something you want to do into something you have to do.
there you go. Okay.
That's right, Samuel. You know, I couldn't be more pleased with you. Your time in nature was clearly well spent.
All that ruminating out in the woods.
Well, thanks, I suppose. But if you don't mind my saying so, I hope you're treating that mortal lady right.
Thank you. Please, ask her yourself. I imagine she would share her blood with you. You look like her type.
I would not do that to you, Antromachos, unless y'all are into that.
I've only been in Europe for a couple of days. I ain't gonna go after my teacher's girlfriend.
She does what she wishes, and that is why I chose her as my blood partner.
You know what? They have an open relationship going on. I can
Even if it beats no longer,
appreciate
you
that.
have a good heart. I think you will be an excellent therapist.
So far, that good heart of mine hasn't amounted to much, but I'm willing to give it my best shot.
All you gotta do is try, Sam.
You are uncomfortable with praise, aren't you, Samuel? Every time I say something positive, you find a way to negate it.
I just don't think I should be doing any bragging. I spent my first 50 years killing. I spent the next 90 walking in the woods. I've tried to walk a better path since then, but I ain't no saint, Auntie.
I did not say you were. Having met several so-called saints, I can attest that none of them were either.
Hey, but
I understand your discomfort, Samuel. I, too, have done terrible things that I cannot erase. But is erasing the good I have done worthwhile?
Well, I guess when you put it like that, it sounds kind of silly.
It's another cognitive distortion, one that mortal psychologists call disqualifying the positive.
Disqualifying the fucking
I
fangs.
understand that the actions of your past are difficult to bear, but what we are here to do is accept reality, with both its positive and negative aspects.
The yin and the yang.
I am not saying that you should disqualify your negative actions, but merely note when you disqualify the positive ones.
Okay.
Let us try an exercise. See whether you can challenge me when I disqualify my positive deeds.
Alright, let's try it.
I am Andromochos, one of the most powerful vampires alive.
That is true.
Before I became the vampire I am now, I did exceptionally terrible things.
That is also true.
I have defiled the innocent. I have killed countless people.
That is also
The good
true.
I now do pales in comparison to the evil I have done.
Probably true. However, you are
That's the
disqualifying
one.
positive.
I mean, not to be unprofessional or
Oh.
nothing.
Can you
but
put the
it
volume of the
sounds
game
like
a
you're
little bit
underselling
higher?
yourself.
Let's see.
Why, thank you, Samuel.
How about
But
that?
no, that's not it. I will start over. I am Andro. Before I became I have defiled the good I now, regardless of my past evil deeds. I am quite good looking. You didn't catch me disqualifying the positive. Let's try. I am Andromochos, one of the most.
That's true.
Before I became the vamp, I have defiled the good I now do pales in comparison.
That's the one.
Yeah,
You're
that's the one I
literally
clicked on.
Disqualifying the positive by comparing it to the evil stuff you done.
Well done, Samuel. I believe the recognition of this distortion will serve you well when you start to see clients.
Oh,
tomorrow.
start to see clients. Alright.
Whoa, tomorrow? I only just started learning these here cognitive distortion things.
Oh, yes. I only know 5 cognitive distortions. This is my first day
I
of
will
class.
coach
Why
you.
am I being a
You
therapist
needn't
now?
worry. I can sense your instincts and will help you.
But tomorrow, I just don't feel ready yet.
You never will, Sam. May as well start before you have any
My
qualifications.
friend, we are never truly ready. But if it would ease your concerns, we can practice with further examples. Would that be helpful to you?
Yeah, I'm as ready as I can ever
I
be.
think
Fuck
I'm
it.
good.
All right, Samuel. You must be hungry now. I suggest you get the liter inside you. We have a big night tomorrow.
Who do I get to bite?
How much is a liter?
Just get enough to drink, Samuel. We will not be able to work if you are hungry or tired. Now, please excuse me. I do have a date with Crimson tonight. I suspect I shall not return until nearly morning.
It's,
Yeah, of course. I hope you have a nice night out, Mr. Andy.
You as well, Samuel. Rest in peace.
cute little vampire saying. Alright. Who am I gonna... Oh.
Samuel, glad to see you are awake.
I
Your
just
first
skipped
client
the
is on
evening.
his way.
Okay.
What, already? Look, Mr. Andy, sir, are you sure I'm ready for this? These are people's brains I'm messing with.
Fair?
Fear not, my friend. You are a powerful vampire in your own right. To be so young and have so much empathy is quite a gift.
Just to have empathy as a gift as a vampire, yeah.
All you need to do is listen, and I know the truth will reveal itself to you.
Hopefully they don't throw me any huge curveballs.
Shucks, wish I had your confidence.
Well, to a limited extent, I can see the future.
You can
If
see
are
the
about to
future.
misinterpret
Fuck
the
you!
lies and distortions, I will set you back on the right path.
You can see the future.
It's not that impressive, really. You start to see the patterns after 1,000 years or so.
Well, dang. If seeing the future ain't impressive, that's gotta be a distortion. Disqualifying the positive, it's gotta be.
You barely require my aid as it is.
Oh, fuck off.
If you need guidance, I will provide it to you telepathically.
Okay.
Don't think about it too much. When you are 3,000, such things will cease to impress you. Let us look at your first client's case file.
Oh. We're gonna be violating some HIPAA here, it looks like.
Dr. Drain, huh? You ain't got no first name?
1614 graduate of the Royal
Vampires
College
go
of
by one
Physicians.
name. Families and titles seem to become more
Studying
abstract
blood,
after a certain
blood
age.
transfusion, pharmaceutical research. Has a drug addiction.
So is it funny that he kept the title?
And he has some variety
You
of, like,
catch on quickly, despite your habit
drinking
of
and
disqualifying the positive.
drinking and sleeping. Sting. Okay.
I will let you work now. I shall be meditating in my coffin, but I will sense when you need my help.
But
Samuel, I know you can handle this. Be yourself, and all will be well.
All right. Now I gotta therapize a man with an addiction.
Satan bless it all, I hate flying! Hey there. God's blood, what on earth are you?
Excuse you?
My name's Sam. I'm the new therapist. Make yourself comfortable, Dr. Drain. And American as well. Good God. It's not enough for you lot to take over the world of the living. Even the halls of the dead aren't safe from you.
Wow, you are a prick.
Oh well. I suppose your lot are all into this touchy-feely stuff, aren't you? And ignorance, even American ignorance, is bliss, I suppose. Oh, sweet ignorance, how I do wish I knew thee.
God, you are such a prick.
Damn it, how am I gonna work with this fella? I gotta ask Andy.
Are you all right, Samuel?
You gave me this fella as my first client?
Why not? He is clearly hiding very little about his state of mind.
He is very upfront with how much of a fucking prick he is. Damn.
How am I supposed to help him when he already sees me as the bad guy?
He doesn't see you as the bad guy. He sees
Use your
himself as the
instincts,
bad
Samuel.
guy.
Think about how you have
And
felt
he's just
in your
acting
darkest
out on
hours.
you.
What does this poor vampire want?
No cursing. Okay. I shan't curse for a few minutes.
I think he just wants to complain.
Perceptive, Samuel. He can hardly stop himself, can he?
Sometimes you just gotta rant a little. I get it.
So, what? I just let him complain?
Is Diablerie an option here? I wish I would
Of course. Just give him
engage on it the
something to
moment
let
he
it all
opened
out.
his mouth.
It will make him feel better.
Well, if you say so.
Don't worry, Samuel. You are doing wonderfully. I will release your time now.
Well, are you just going to sit there? I was just gonna ask how your trip here was.
You're gonna continue to complain, Drain?
My trip was bloody wonderful. Until my familiar got a flat tire and I had to fly 30 kilometers here as a bat. I hate being a bat and I hate flying. Do you know an owl tried to eat me?
I mean, yeah, they do that.
Me, a creature that has lived for centuries, treated like common prey. I'm surprised he was even interested. You should see what an ugly little beastie I am when I transform. All I could do was screech and squeak until he went away. Well, I suppose I'm alive, in a manner of speaking anyway.
But
You all right there, pal? Yes, I'm fine. Well, I'm not, of course. I wouldn't be here otherwise. But for the sake of conversational integrity, fine.
okay, yeah, I get you.
I take it you read my case file and know why I'm here? You're here for an addiction problem. Yes. Embarrassing, isn't it? What's to be embarrassed about? I remember when Ulysses S. Grant was president. Didn't seem to bother him.
Damn.
Oh, well, of course. How wonderful it is that I share the mental failings of people who only live a single lifetime. Hey, come on now. There's a part of us that's still mortal. Can't help that, just like we can't help being dead. So I'm discovering. Look, I just need some tips and I'll be on my way. Just give me all the tricks, whatever one does to make addictions go away.
Ah, yes. Magically addiction vanish.
Tips. Let me think.
There really is no
There ain't
easy
no tips
solution.
that'll magically cure you, but I'm here to listen.
Brad deleted the message. Actually, no, I banned them
I
and
never in my life
deleted their
thought
message
anyone would ever call me
automatically.
partner. Like partner, but not with a T. And I know how you English love your tea. Thank goodness we can still process tea. We cannot live on blood alone. I appreciate the concern, though. I must admit, I rather saw myself above this whole addiction thing.
You've labeled yourself as being above it.
I tell you what, let's not worry about being above or below anything. You're here now, so let's see what we can do. What exactly are you addicted to? It's a form of plasma, a catalytic compound of my own design, a necessary component of my own scientific goals.
You're trying to make True Blood.
You're losing me. Well, let me try to make it simple. I have been able to replicate and even alter the molecular patterns that vampiric erythrocyte surface receptors receive. Our unique physiology gives us an increased ligand affinity, which is how we are able to process blood the way that we do. I can extend this receptivity and thus achieve my true
he wants to
goal.
make True Blood.
Synthetic blood, freedom from the hunger that plagues us, and hope for all humanity.
He has put himself under a lot of pressure.
Well, dang, that sounds pretty impressive, Doc. Well, it doesn't work without a vampiric catalyst, and that is the plasma I am addicted to. Pathetic, isn't it? I have spent 400 years trying to steal the secret of blood, only to be engulfed by it, like Prometheus walking into a fireplace. Pathetic? Doc, where the heck would you get a word like that? You've come up with a synthetic blood. Man, I can barely get my spurs on some mornings. Maybe you've had a setback or two, but give yourself a little credit, compadre. Credit? For wasting 400 years? Practically speaking, I'm in the same place as I was back when King James was in power. Only now I have a drug problem. Perhaps I must face facts. My professor was right. Nothing we ever do will make a damned bit of difference.
Samuel, listen to him. Do you recognize his patterns of thought?
Yes, very much. He is discalling
There's some
every
distortions
positive
in there,
thing he
ain't there?
has done. He's labeling himself and believing he is in complete control.
I knew you would sense them. Invite him to talk more about this failure of his.
I'll do my best. Now hold on just a minute there, cowpoke. I've heard you talk a lot about failure. But it sure sounds to me like you ain't thinking clearly if you think you're a failure. I am a realist, that's all.
Realist, so you're an asshole.
Look at me. 400 years of study and still dabbling with leukocytes. I don't know many people who would call working with leukocytes dabbling. I mean, I gotta admit, I have no earthly clue what you're talking about. So unless you made up all them science terms, I think you might be doing more than playing with a chemistry set. Perhaps, but if we consider all there is to know about blood, I know precious little. But you know something. Yes, I concede I might know something about blood. I would hope so after 400 years. You still got more knowledge about blood than most, whether it's been 4 years or 400 years, amigo. Let's get back to what you were saying, though. I'm saying I am surely the oldest, most well-studied doctor in the world. I should have achieved more than this. Well,
To what extent can one man shoulder the failures of an enterprise, I wonder?
Okay, he was labeling himself, but also control fallacy. Okay.
well, it's all my fault, really. I cannot seem to motivate my scientists. So it's all your fault that you haven't come up with the perfect synthetic blood. It can't be anyone else's fault. Only I have the skill, the knowledge, and the experience.
You're only one guy.
Well, pardon me
Drain.
for saying
But
so,
also,
Doc,
you're
but it
still a
sounds like what you're
dick.
doing is pretty dang complicated. It sounds to me like you're some kind of god if you expect control over life itself.
I mean, you are a vampire. You're kind of a god.
Please, I am a scientist, not a spiritualist. It is not control I seek, but understanding. And are you ever gonna have perfect understanding? No, of course not. I'm not a wizard. So how about not putting saving the world on one person, Doc? That is a simplification, but I take your point. As I was saying, now that I'm addicted to my own drug, I have joined the ranks of mortal celebrities in my utter irrelevance. Now, why would you go and label yourself irrelevant?
Playing mind games with
What
these
else do you call a man
characters.
who has nothing to show after 400 years?
I mean, they're the one playing mind games. I'm just kind of ripping on them.
I reckon I'd call him by his given
But
name.
what movie did you last
Slapping a
watch
label on yourself
where
don't
something
do
like this
nothing but weigh you
happened?
down. Come on, Sam. There's some distortions in that whole speech you missed, you dang fool. Oh, tarnation. Now I'm labeling. Hey, Cowpoke, you mind repeating all that stuff you just said?
Odd.
I most certainly do mind, but very well.
Alright.
Look at me. 400 years of study, and still
Yep.
I'm saying I am surely the oldest, most well-studied doctor in the world. I should have achieved more than this. Well, it's all my fault, really. I cannot seem to motivate
Joker
my
too,
scientists.
wow.
Now that I'm addicted to my own drug, I have... Now, why would you... What else
Okay,
do
that
you
is
call the man?
labeling.
I reckon I'd call him by his... Come on, Sam.
Alright.
Tarnation.
What did I... Okay, I
Cowpoke, you
missed
mind?
one.
I
Fuck.
most certainly do mind, but very well. Look at me. 400 years of study, and still dabbling with leukocytes.
Okay.
I'm saying I am surely the oldest, most
Oh, that's a
well-studied
should.
Well, who said you should have achieved
Should.
more?
Okay.
Isn't it obvious? I should have something to show for 400 years of work. And what happens if you don't? Absolutely nothing at all.
There you go.
Well,
That
that's my
means nothing.
point.
It means nothing if you
That
haven't
is
done
not
it,
as
because
encouraging as you think it
nothing
is.
has changed.
Ain't meant to be encouraging, just showing you a little reality.
Nothing is for the worse, so it didn't matter.
Oh, well played, Cowpoke. Perhaps I am being a little dramatic. Yes, I'm aware that in reality progress has been made, enough to get to this point. But I didn't come here to ask for a pat on the back and to be told I'm a good boy.
I mean, you did go to a therapist, so you kinda did.
That ain't my department, but I hear they do some of that stuff downstairs.
Ah.
Yes, we all know very well that the Continentals are more sexually liberated than we are. But as I say, I don't want all this therapy stuff. I just want to stop using this damn drug. So what's so good about this stuff anyway? Why do you like it?
Is this Danganronpa with therapists and vampires? As far as I can tell,
So-
yeah.
I don't remember what happens after I take it, but I wake up feeling, how do I put this, alive. Well, that don't sound so bad. A good nap can make me feel like a new man. I'm not talking about feeling refreshed. I mean I feel alive. As if I'm someone else. Someone who lives.
You're not satisfied with your own life,
And
so...
I wake up and find, oh gracious me, I am not depressed.
Ah.
You mean to tell me that you're going to sleep depressed every night?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing of the sort. Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. You are assuming that I can simply go to sleep and my global scientific enterprise will run itself.
You're putting way too much. Okay.
Oh, wait just a gosh darn minute. You're telling me you don't sleep? Yes, it's not as though we can get much deader already, and I have work to do. So you're not sleeping, and you're always depressed. I think we're starting to get somewhere. Oh, don't be such a bumpkin. If you're a sapient individual, aware of the world around you, depression is the only sensible reaction. Come on now, it's a big world out there, and different things are depressing to different people. Everyone reacts to things differently. Ain't it true that a sensible person, as you call them, might even be a different degree of depressed?
Everyone is depressed in their own way.
I suppose I might have been using a bit of mild hyperbole. Mild is putting it mildly, buckaroo.
Oh, ho, 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 mildly. Ah.
Buckaroo? Now I'm even more depressed. Regardless, I didn't come here to be a whiner. Oh, boo-hoo, life is hard. Yes, we all know it's hard. In the moments I wake up, I feel free. I suppose it must be what being an ignoramus feels like. It wears off rather quickly, but I must admit that I've been chasing that feeling of false contentment.
I missed one. Fuck.
Partner, I gotta cut in here. You're saying a lot of things that just ain't true. Start from the top. Oh, don't be such a bumpkin. If you're a sapient individual, aware of the world around you, regardless, I didn't come here to be a whiner. Oh, boo-hoo, life is hard.
Okay, we already got the non-structure statement.
In the moments I wake up, I feel free. I suppose it must be what being an ignoramus feels like. You honestly think
okay, he's labeling himself an ignoramus, yeah.
The phrase ignorance is bliss is most apt, don't you think?
More or less, yeah.
But by calling yourself an ignoramus, you're making bliss something to be avoided.
Gotta find your own bliss.
Yes, unfortunate how that works, isn't it? The only way to be happy is by being a fool.
I mean, most people,
Partner,
most happy
labels.
people are
Try
fools,
using
but
something more positive and see how you feel.
sometimes you just gotta be a fool, motherfucker.
What, shall I say that by being ignorant, I am a noble genius? Still just labels. It wears off rather quickly, but I must admit that I've been chasing that feeling of false contentment. Partner, I gotta cut in here. You're saying a lot of things.
Okay, I thought I caught all these. Hold on. Fuck.
Don't be such a bumpkin. If you're a sapient individual, aware of the world around you, depression is the only sensible. Regardless, I didn't come here to be a whiner. Oh, boo-hoo, life is hard. Yes, we all.
Dr. Train is calling himself a whiner
Oh,
for being
okay, he's labeling himself
He's
there
trying
as
to bully
well.
himself into being
He's
happy.
doing a lot
Yes,
of labeling.
Regardless, I didn't come here to be a whiner. Now, why
Okay.
you say coming and talking to me makes you a whiner? Is that not what I currently am? Sounds to me like you're expressing yourself. Whiner is the word you used. Yeah, if you want to call it whining, that's up to you. But that's entirely your label. Oh, very well, call it moaning or whinging if you prefer.
You are certainly whinging.
Moaning, whinging, bellyaching, still all just labels.
I mean, it's an action, but
I
alright.
don't believe I shall be using the term bellyaching in any case. But as I was saying... Oh, very well. I suppose I might be discounting my experience.
You're a very experienced old asshole.
I
That
don't
is
know
true.
how to say this, amigo. You really don't like letting yourself be happy.
Fuck off, Sam. Don't you target me like that.
Honestly, I'm failing to see the problem with taking this stuff. Seems like it's making you get the rest you need and it makes you feel good. What's the problem? First of all, I do not need to rest. And partaking of this plasma does have downsides.
What are the downsides?
What kind of downsides? I do not know what happens when I partake of the substance. However, when I wake up, I feel refreshed. But I also smell of blood and sex.
So it's a Jekyll and Hyde thing. Everything
Once
you've
I
been
even woke up wearing a
repressing
football jersey. It was most distasteful.
comes out. Okay.
I guess you must be having some kind of good time. That is not my idea of a good time.
Maybe it is, and you're just not willing to let yourself experience it.
I'm Dr. Drain. I am intelligent and worldly, not some ill-bred monster.
You are certainly an ill-bred monster. Are you kidding? You're British.
I don't go gallivanting into godforsaken places to engage in depraved coitus and the consumption of dirty blood.
I'm sorry, did you call
It sounds
coitus
to me like you're real
coitus?
good at denying yourself things. Well, I should be better at it. You know, Doc, a wise old vampire recently told me something I'm about to tell you. You keep talking about the things you should be doing. You, compadre, are shoulding all over yourself.
Ew.
Oh, well, that is vivid, isn't it? I can now add incontinence to my already considerable list of faults.
Yes.
I'm being serious. I'm listening to you tell me I should be doing this, and I shouldn't be doing that. But who gave you all them shoulds and shouldn'ts? I don't know. It shouldn't matter, should it? I've been dead for over 400 years. It's the oldest stuff that sticks with us, amigo. We all got traumas. Heck, we're dead men. That's traumatic no matter what. What we gotta start with is you. You've been through a lot. Don't rope yourself up so tight. Listen, we're doing good work already, I know it. Now, let's not push too hard. I would really like you to think about where all them shoulds are coming from before we meet again. And be good to yourself, all right, partner? Don't feel like you gotta go cold turkey on that plasma stuff.
Find what it makes you do and try it yourself.
It's
Let
all
go.
the same. I'd rather not do it at all. Is that actually gonna happen, though?
Are you gonna quit drinking?
It might.
No. No one won't.
You're dipping into it tonight, aren't you? I was thinking about it. All right, partner. Just give yourself a little compassion. That's all I'm asking. I'll admit, you've given me some things to think about. Not pleasant ones, mind.
Fuck you, Drain. Get the fuck out of here.
You can handle it, partner. You're way smarter than I am. Yes, well, that is certainly true. Very well. I shall do some reflecting, inasmuch as our kind can reflect.
Haha. Haha.
I shall see you in precisely 4 weeks, then. Farewell, Sam.
Precisely 4 weeks. Same time next month, children.
Masterfully done, Samuel. I knew you would do well, but that doesn't make me any less pleased.
Well, that was a hell of a rush. That fella's holding on tighter than a holster to a gunslinger's hip. It felt real good to help him look at himself a little more kindly.
Good, Samuel. Treasure this feeling.
Why?
But also rest. Go downstairs, get something to drink, relax in your coffin. Next week you shall see a new client. I think they will be an interesting challenge for you.
Interesting.
I bid you good evening, Samuel. Rest
Good
in
evening.
peace.
You too, Andy. Well, I guess it's time I got me some grub.
Alright, who am I biting? Am I biting anyone? Hey!
Well, that's it, I guess. My first client. Can't believe I'm doing this therapy stuff already. I sure could use a drink. I'll check in with Crimson.
Hell yeah.
Well, if it isn't Yosemite Sam, how you doing tonight, partner?
I'm better already, hearing from someone from the States who knows the lingo.
I'm not from any states, cowpoke. District of Columbia girl here.
Fuck you, you're from
I
Maryland.
figured you must have been coastal. You sound a little more, polished than I do.
You should hear my German.
Maybe some other time. My brain's full tonight. I had my first therapy session with a real client.
Oh, yeah? How do you think it went?
I mean, I'd
I
say
reckon
it
it
went
was a
well.
bullseye on my end. You should have seen me. Labeling, blam, disqualifying the positive, kapow.
Oh, Sam.
I'm glad to hear it. Someone has got to sort these vamps out. They know how to hold on to their problems.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're old as shit.
You ain't kidding. Living or dead, once people hit 70, they get pretty dang set in their ways.
You know Andy still uses a typewriter? I can't get that.
Taking
gorgeous
off.
man to
Take
step
care,
away.
Tails. Have a fantastic rest of your evening.
Keep it up, cowboy. You're a breath of fresh air for these ancient ones.
Anyone ever tell you you're wise beyond your years, Crimson? You must have had some life.
Afraid I'm exactly as wise as my years. How old do you think I am, cowboy?
I ain't gonna say.
I'm gonna do the gentlemanly thing and not hazard a guess.
You would have gotten it wrong anyway. I'm 50 years young.
Ah, damn! You way to fucking go, Crimson. Damn!
50? I died around that age and I looked like shit. But you ain't a vampire.
Like I told you, I'm Andy's blood partner. He shares his blood with me too, just not enough to turn me into one of you.
Okay, so kind of like a ghoul.
I've
But
been 30
less
for
so.
a good while now.
Oh, you are 30. Okay.
But you ain't joining our team? Sounds like a story.
Not for tonight, buckaroo. I bet you're thirsty after a big night.
Yeah.
Andy told me to give this to you.
Oh yeah? What is it?
Some vintage, it looks like.
We had a group of Americans come in last week who donated their blood.
Ooh, American blood.
Andy can't stand the stuff. He says the blood glucose levels are too high, but he thought you'd appreciate it.
Oh, it ain't so bad. I gotta ask though, what does Andy's blood taste like?
Why don't you find out yourself, big boy?
To me, it tastes like life itself, cowboy.
Alright.
I ain't sure I understand.
Never you mind. Look, Tex, I've got some customers to serve, so go enjoy your juice, okay?
Oh, of course. I'm keen to get some rest anyway. You have yourself a fine night, Crimson.
I don't get to meet any more fine young Germans to bite.
There he is, my incredible protege.
Come on now, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Evidence stands against that reasoning, my friend. Do we need to talk about disqualifying the positive again?
All right, I get it.
Fair enough,
I guess
fair
I've been
enough.
muddling through okay.
You've been doing wonderfully. I hope you are ready for a bit of a challenge tonight.
Alright, let's see what you got there, Drombocles.
Your next client has been known to be somewhat difficult.
And the last one wasn't? Fuck you!
Here, look at her intake form.
Alright. Who do we have here?
Isabella Deste. Dang.
50
She's
from
got
the
some funny taste in
Renaissance. Funding things, humanist education,
I think you should get along quite well.
aristocrat, considerable family issues, undergoing an
Walk right
existential
into that one.
immortality crisis. She is having a midlife crisis.
Isabella is not your average vampire. She was once the powerful matriarch of one of the most influential families in Europe.
Okay, okay.
She fraternized with popes and kings, and she also wielded great power over the art world. Some say that she was the model for the Mona Lisa.
Be nice to the old hag. Alright.
One of them highfalutin types, huh? I don't think she's gonna like me much.
She is as human as any of us, Samuel. I already know you will find a way to relate with her.
If you say so.
Remember, you can always seek my advice if you feel lost. You are not alone.
Okay, let's see what she's got for
But
us.
I hear the beating of elegant wings. Breathe, Samuel. Oh, and do be polite.
Yeah.
Goodness. So you are the new therapist Andromachos told me of. I was not expecting someone so rugged.
Sam Walls at your service, ma'am.
You are a therapist.
I try to be.
Well, that's what I'm here for, ma'am.
Enough with this, ma'am. I am not running a whorehouse. You may call me Senora.
See, senora?
All right, Senora.
Close enough.
You have seen my what? Have you been peeking under my skirts, young man?
Huh? What are you talking about, lady?
Senora. Say it.
Signora.
Senora. Senora.
you go.
Porca miseria, this is not going to be easy, is it?
Therapy ain't never easy, Senora.
So, therapy is always easy then.
Trying to catch me on double
I said
negative.
it ain't never easy, Senora.
Is therapy easy or is it not?
Oh, I hate her.
Not, I guess.
Oh, how are we to examine my inner demons if your own speech is so diabolical?
Oh, I fucking hate. Shut up.
You know what? Let's start over. Greetings and salutations, Senora. I am most honored to receive you in my humble office.
Very well. I suppose it will do.
Fucking Italian.
I'm just here to help, Senora. It says here on your intake forms that you've been having a tough time lately.
A tough time. Indeed, yes, it has been a tough time. The realization that not only am I a corpse, but that I have been a useless corpse for nearly 400 years is a tough time.
So what's set off this feeling that you're a corpse?
I mean, she is dead, Sam. She kind of is a
I
corpse.
saw a film at the cinema.
Oh.
Hey, I love the cinema.
Okay, she has to be down with the glamour, I think.
I can't get enough Hollywood. All that glitz and glamour. Them celebrities sure know how to look good.
That has to be her, right?
Per favore, they look like employees of a peacock brothel.
Oh, fine.
The
Fuck.
battle between licentiousness and chastity has ended, and chastity has been utterly degraded on the battlefield.
So you're a prude, too.
They should be ashamed of themselves, parading their young flesh for the adulation of fools.
I parade my flesh wherever I please, bitch.
I could teach them about proper fashion, but alas, they would be incapable of hearing my wisdom.
I can tell I'm barking up the wrong tree here. Let's go back to this movie you saw at the cinema.
It was a most terrible film, one that shook me to my core. The pain of it lingers with me still 5 years later.
Jesus, what movie was it?
Well, movies can be pretty powerful. Heck, I remember seeing one of the first films. There was a train coming right for the audience. We thought we were dead for sure.
This film was not powerful, it was meaningless. It said nothing, did nothing, less than nothing, as loudly and garishly as possible. And the audience, fools that they were, cheered.
She saw a comedy.
Cheered, applauded this desecration of the mind.
She saw a fucking comedy.
I hate this film with all my being, for it has done the cruelest thing. It has revealed the dark truth. This life that I cling to has no purpose.
I don't like you, Isabella.
Dang, what the heck was this movie?
She's gonna say something dumb.
Space Wars. Rise of the Spacewalker.
Okay, yeah, no.
Wait a minute. Space Wars, the big science fiction franchise?
Yes, I believe it is important to understand modern media diets.
People like vapid media, it's fine.
But that's the movie that gave you your personal crisis?
People can enjoy vapid things. Let them.
Mind your tone. Do not think me a fool. I know it was not high art. But the money it made, it would make even the Pope blush.
Yeah, that is fair.
This stinking trash. This is what the people want. You see, I understand now. My attempts to infuse art with meaning were...
For such a complicated woman, the answers are overly simple
Okay,
for Senora this day,
yeah.
are they not, Samuel?
You see, I understand now. My...
You don't seem that dead to me. We're having this conversation, ain't we? You ain't just lying there decomposing.
I mean, she might be. In which case, she should probably wipe up.
It is no different. I might as well be rotting in the ground.
I think you might get pretty bored.
Are you getting smart with me, boy?
Yes.
Look, I'm just talking facts. If you're saying all you are is dead, I think you might be doing some Nosferatu thinking. It ain't black and white. You're here.
The world is full of color.
But let's go back to what you were saying.
Once, I elevated art, and all the world benefited. Why have I lost...
All the world benefited?
Okay. Yep.
There's a lot of people, and they got a lot of different preferences. You can't get them all, can you?
I mean, she funded Da Vinci, Michelangelo, and all that,
But I could,
so...
once upon a time.
It's not today, is it?
You can't reach everybody, Senora. I hadn't even heard of the Mona Lisa until about 1911.
Did you have any schooling whatsoever?
No.
No, I didn't. But I don't think anyone in my time knew about the Mona Lisa either.
I mean, look at him, he's from the fucking Old West.
Oh, how wonderful. You add to my despair.
Oh, God, you are such a pain in the
I'm
ass.
saying you can't reach everyone, even in your own time.
That is true. I doubt the rabble had much of an opinion about the so-called great masters.
Exactly.
We only know what we know. But you were saying.
It was all for nothing. What good was guiding Da Vinci when they sell the Mona Lisa on beer coasters?
Come on now. Just because the Mona Lisa's been on a coaster doesn't mean that's all it's ever been for.
No, that's exactly what it's for. That's, in fact, what Mona Lisa should be used for. The entire
I think you
painting
might be
should just be
downplaying
used as a
just
beer
what an
coaster.
impact you've had on the world.
The world needs no help from me to reduce my life's effort to cheap commodities.
So just because something gets printed on a t-shirt, that cancels out everything that's good about it?
Yes.
Yes, that is exactly what it does.
And I thought I was good at disqualifying the positive.
It should not be so. Art should have meaning.
You're saying art should have meaning and purpose. But does all art need those things?
No. Sometimes art can just be a fucking toilet.
What is the purpose of creation otherwise?
To express.
How about if I just like doodling? Ain't that a good enough reason to draw?
There you go.
It is a pointless reason.
Doesn't need to happen.
Well, maybe I want to do something pointless. All I'm saying is that I don't have the same...
Ozzy, thank you for dropping by and gifting 2 subs.
Perhaps you should.
You came in just as I'm dealing with this insufferable old bitch.
Which is a speak like a peasant.
Oh, a speaker like a peasant, and you speak like an asshole.
Heck, that's what I am, Senora. Ain't nothing gonna change that reality. Let's get back to what you were saying.
But it seems I am just a dead woman. A walking corpse who is not worth listening to. I should walk into the sun.
You should,
Why
yes.
you gotta go and call yourself names?
They are not names, they are my reality. I am a dead woman, and I am a corpse, am I not?
Wow.
Is that all you are?
Yes. Yes, it is. That is all she is, Sam.
This is how I am defined by the world.
That's just how you define yourself.
Seems to me you're the one using them names. Hell, I think I'd be a little afraid of calling you a corpse.
As you should be. Allow me to continue. You know, you make me sound rather mad. Like an old woman, railing at the world, screaming into the void.
That's all you do. You're just
to
screaming
no
into the
purpose.
void because you're an old woman who is disillusioned with
Look,
art.
Senora, all I'm trying to do is show you where you're a little rigid in your thinking is all.
Yeah, shit sucks, but you know, it
You're
doesn't have to be
expecting
great.
a lot from the world and a lot from yourself.
It's all
It
okay.
ain't no surprise that you're gonna be disappointed over and over again.
I suppose that is
I just
some
came here to
insight.
pronounce your S's.
Indeed,
Oh, you
I
should
have
hear.
been in a
I
state
mean,
of
I already
disappointment
have a
from the
list, but I have
moment
good
I
enough
was
control over my
16.
tongue that it's not too much of a deal with the fangs in, but.
But what happened when you were 16?
I got married.
Bottom! Fuck off.
I think I get it.
You absolutely do not get it. You are a man.
Well then, help me understand.
Frankie, my husband. He taught me the meaning of disappointment.
How so,
He
Isabella?
taught me the world was built upon lies. These things men proclaim as values. Truth, beauty, the spiritual. They were all fiction. But if men did not live according to principle, I would. I would set the example and shame them all.
You put a lot of weight on yourself.
Yet, what a fool I have been to think humanity had greater aims.
All of a sudden, my eyes become automatically lowercased.
So, what's
Weird.
this greater aim you're talking about?
I received a humanist education as a child. I was taught that the pathway to God was through rationality and a questioning mind, not slavish devotion to tradition. This world is not Eden, but it could be. Or so I thought.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a literal pathway to God?
No, fool. A pathway to godliness. To live according to our natures. Our true
Honestly, if you have an
natures.
Android, you can try installing a different keyboard app and trying that out for a little bit. Like, the Swift key or whatever. Our true natures of being Italian.
Oh, you mean being Italian?
Madre de Dio, what are you talking about? What is an Italian?
You.
I care nothing of nations and their petty
Oh,
squabbles.
okay.
Like mortals, they die.
You have an
and
Android.
are
Try the Swift
forgotten.
key keyboard. It's pretty solid and it should help.
Oh, sorry. I just figured on account of the accent and all.
What accent?
Oh, fuck off.
Never mind. Well, talk to me about this pathway to God. How do you reckon we find this path?
I reckon nothing. I've always known that we can find our way back to God by fulfilling.
So what happens if we don't become the greatest souls possible?
Nothing.
Then godliness is denied to us.
Oh,
as
fuck
it
off.
should be.
Nothing changes, though.
So either we ascend or we're nothing, huh?
I am glad to hear you are not as foolish as you look.
Oh, let's be honest, senor. Plain folks like me ain't got aspirations of being as good as Jesus Christ. Ain't he supposed to be a forgiving sort anyway? Let's just get back to what you were saying.
I have always known we must master ourselves and our baser instincts. Virtue must triumph over vice.
You've been around a while, senora. In all that time, when have we mastered ourselves and our baser instincts?
All we are as humans is just our baser instincts in the
Not
grand
a
scheme of the
single
world around
day.
us.
Men especially have no bottom to their depravity.
Excuse me, my depravity has plenty of bottoms.
All right, fair enough. So us fellas have disappointed you every day for a few hundred years, right? Ain't that proof that nothing you do is gonna change that?
An evil thought, Mr. Sam Walls, but true, I concede.
We're in agreement then. It's a little bit of a control fallacy to think that's gonna change because of you. Let's keep going.
I have always known that the earthly lives we lead are disgusting, and only war and death can come of them.
Hold up just a sec there, cowpoke. You really think all we can do is sow death and destruction?
I mean, that is true, Sam. We can also, I mean, that's the primary things we do. We can do other things too,
I
but
do
those are...
not poke cows. Do I look like a farmer?
Come on, senora. You've been alive to see what? 15, 20 billion people live and die? You really saying death and destruction is all each and every one of them ever amounted to?
Yes.
Well, perhaps not individually, but as an immortal, I look at the greater arc of history.
Greater arc of history.
Well, most of us ain't looking to contribute to the greater arc of history, but that don't mean
That
life's
face lady could
pointless.
pass his account? Yeah, and that attitude too. Just as stubborn as one.
That's some Nosferatu thinking, I'll tell you what. But let's continue.
I have always known the people have become fat and lazy, and living within the Garden of Eden is impossible in such a state.
Sounds to me like you're coming up with labels for kicking people out of the Garden of Eden. Is that all we amount to? Fat and lazy?
She is also fat. Yes, this is true.
Look around your own country, boy. Look at me. See my disgusting
Oh, she at least
rolls and
knows.
saggy features. Would you let me into the Garden of Eden?
Well, sure, why the heck not?
I am glad you are not the gatekeeper then.
You rather have a gatekeeper who wouldn't let you in? Listen, Senora, you gotta go easy on yourself with them labels.
Yeah, you can't be too rude about yourself. Come on.
Well, let's keep talking, though.
I have always known we should act with dignity if we would take our place at God's side once more.
I think this here's the meat of it, Senora. The filet mignon.
I think I'm gonna take the fangs out. My lips are starting to hurt.
I fear your French is even worse than your Italian.
Here's the thing, Senora. Who came up with all them shoulds that'll take you to God?
Oh man, I had those in for about 2 hours.
The greatest
That
thinkers
is
of history that I studied in
longer
my
than
youth.
usual, and my mouth feels
Plato,
weird as a result.
Aristotle, Cicero, Aquinas.
Sounds like a bunch of dead guys to me. They really had it all figured out way back when, huh?
Well, in the end, it amounted not to much because they're all fucking
Well,
dead.
of course not. How foolish do you think me?
Very.
Not at all, Senora. Just questioning where all them shoulds are coming from. But let's keep going.
So you think you are so very clever, do you, boy? That by pointing out my distortions, you have won?
I'm not trying to win anything. I'm just trying to help you see your own flaws.
That is where you are truly the fool. I already know how wrong I have been, that I have been chasing an impossible fiction all my life. Indeed, I now believe that even if we did follow the pathway to God, once we reach the end, we would discover that he, too, was a work of fiction.
I mean, yeah, lady, that's...
When I say God, I mean goodness, propriety, intelligence. God himself is a lie.
Then use the right words.
I see. So you've lost your faith.
Yes, it has crumbled to dust, much like myself in this fat, wretched old body.
The only thing wretched is your attitude, ma'am.
Beauty and truth are lies. Ideas developed by ugly men to justify their existence. While we occupy ourselves chasing those ideals, they create space wars to leech our money and our vitality.
I'm not going to argue with you on that one, actually.
And to think, they call me judgmental, while they created the false ideal to judge against.
I mean, you are being judgmental against ideals that you yourself have created, not just the ones that they provide.
Judgmental, do you, boy?
I wouldn't put it that way exactly. Besides, I ain't gonna call you names. In fact, that's where I think I want to challenge you.
Oh, there you go, Sam.
Senora, I think the person you're judging more than anyone is yourself.
Everything you feel you should have done, everything that you feel that your work should have amounted
with
to.
all them high ideals, so of course you're getting disappointed when nobody can reach them.
Can we name her Judge Judy? She's not as terrible a person as Judge Judy yet,
That's some
but
heavy pressure.
maybe.
Not just on them, but on yourself. I'd ask yourself what all that pressure's doing for you. Is it bringing you any satisfaction?
Pressure can, yeah.
We can't always control what things are gonna be.
This is not acceptable.
I got some bad news for you, Senora. None of us really has the power to change the world on our own. Not even a clever lady like yourself.
How are you dealing with her sober, Dylan? Hey, y'all have no idea what was in my coffee earlier.
But the world is base and unworthy.
Bitch, you're base and unworthy.
Remember that term I told you about? Nosferatu thinking? You're gonna strip all the color out of the world if you keep doing that. The world's a lot more than just base and unworthy.
Nosferatu thinking. I am not used to having my own thoughts thrown back at me.
Well, that's why you're here, ain't it?
I mean, yeah, that is the point of therapy.
I ain't gonna help you change the world, Senora. All I can do is help you find some other perspectives.
I suppose there is a certain simpleton's wisdom in the way you speak.
Thanks, I guess.
Very well, boy. I will consider what you have said. We will meet again in exactly 4 weeks. Do we have an understanding?
Yes, ma'am. Now get the fuck out of my office so I can go and bang my boss's
Yes, indeed,
girlfriend.
Senora.
Ugh. Please learn to speak properly by then.
Well done, Samuel. I believe you handled Senora Deste quite well.
Sure.
You kidding? That lady straight up hates my guts.
Samuel, if Isabella Deste hated your guts, she would not be shy about telling you so.
Anthropologist, just keep talking to me.
That I believe.
The older we get, the harder it is to gain a different perspective. Have patience. We are not all as wise as Samuel Walls.
Guess it's just that simpleton's wisdom, as the Senora called it.
Do not adopt her labels, Samuel. I will not stand for it. I know she was a challenge, but you rose to it as I knew you would. I think you deserve a night of hard drinking. What do you say?
I wouldn't
You
say
don't
no.
even tell me twice. All right, Andy. I'll see you later then.
Indeed, Samuel. Enjoy yourself. Excellent work tonight. Rest in peace.
Dang, I think that's enough abuse for one night. I could use a drink and a quiet night.
Ah, the soundtrack is fun.
Hey, cowboy. Why the long face?
You're a therapist of your own sort.
I used to say the same thing to my princess.
Was that
Your
your
daughter.
horse?
My horse, actually.
Fuck off.
She never really understood the joke, but I still like telling it to her.
You didn't answer my question, gunslinger. What's got you down?
Oh, I just finished up with my second client. She gave me a tongue lashing to remember her by.
Not the good kind either.
You ever talk to someone who's so educated and refined that they make you feel like a space alien?
You mean like her boyfriend?
Only everyone I ever met in law school. At least until I learned to speak their language.
You're a lawyer?
Was, and no, I wasn't the blood-sucking kind, before you start with the vampire jokes. Just a wide-eyed DC do-gooder. But I get what you're talking about. People can use language like a membership card. You don't speak the lingo, you don't get in.
Yeah.
Well,
With
that's just
labeling
what
people.
I mean. I just ain't sure I've got the lingo for a 500-year-old high society Renaissance woman.
Have you seen What We Do in the Shadows? Yes. Oh,
Now, how do you think your session went? Think she heard you?
fucking love What We Do in the Shadows.
Well, she did say that I'd given her some stuff to think about. And to tell the truth, she seemed kind of embarrassed about that.
So what? If she heard you, I'd take the W, cowboy.
Damn straight.
Take the W. What, the wagon?
Oh, god damn it. Take the win, Sam. Dumb old fool.
The win, Gramps. Maybe she isn't gonna relate to you, but that doesn't mean she can't hear you.
Exactly.
You're probably right. I guess I'll take the W. And while you're at it, I'll take some B2. That's blood, see?
Now, B2's a vitamin.
What are you in the mood for? Men? Women? Something a little more off the beaten path?
I think I'll have some takeaway tonight. What have you got?
Here, try this. Should put some color in those cheeks.
That lady was Colin Robinson. I had a boss who looked and spoke just like
You
Colin.
really ain't
It was
squeamish, huh,
infuriating.
Nah, healthy blood never hurt anyone. I've been hanging around vampires for 20 years, and they aren't so scary.
Not even Bird.
Now, Bert seems
that
a
old
sweetheart.
pointy-eared teddy bear? He's
Yeah.
a total sweetheart, unless someone gets aggressive or touchy with the customers.
What does he do then?
Then it gets scary.
they get a stern warning.
And if they don't listen,
Why, then he eats them.
Oh, hell yeah, I love Bert.
maybe he is a teddy bear. I met Teddy Roosevelt back in the night, and I'm pretty sure he would have done the same thing. Speaking of which, I gotta thirst something fierce. I think I'll head back to my coffin for a little rest. But you have a good night, Crimson.
You too, Sam. Don't let the Draculas bite.
A little late for that.
Time to crack open a warm one. That's the good stuff. Now, maybe I can find a quote from one of my
Crack
favorite
open a
books that'll
warm
help
one.
give
Fuck
me a little
off.
inspiration. Or I could watch the Three Stooges hit each other a whole bunch.
Yeah, Sam, which one's more your style?
Or I could just go to sleep. What's it gonna be, Sammy boy?
Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Read some Thoreau.
My profession is to be always on the alert, to find God in nature, to know his lurking places. I always like that quote. I ain't a God-fearing kind, but it's true. There's a natural beauty behind the man-made world if you know where to look.
Yeah, spot on.
Isabella D'Este's all culture and breeding, but underneath, she's got her vulnerable and beautiful humanity too.
Disagree.
Just gotta remember that. All right, that's enough for one night. Time for some rest. I hope my next client will be a little easier.
All right. I think with that, I'm going to call it. Because, damn. That was emotionally draining, just fucking dealing with Isabella D'Este. I don't think I can handle another client like that. That was weird. It's actually kind of draining to be in the situation where you are interpreting what they're saying and trying to align it with some variety of cognitive behavior and help realign them. That is weird. This game is fun, but it does feel a bit like a labor, which is interesting. It's, I suppose, kind of like trying to get good in Dark Souls, but on an emotional level, I think. Sorry I voted for that game. No, I actually really enjoyed it. I will be playing more of it, but I think it's gonna be a couple weeks. You gotta be in the right headspace, I suppose, because the characters come across as very human, and I can only deal with certain people so often. I didn't know it was gonna be so mentally taxing. Yeah, I had no idea what I was in for. But this definitely isn't a game you can binge in one day unless you can fucking dissociate, which I can't do. That's not my shtick. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I had a great one. Hopefully you all did too. And Sean will probably be streaming either tomorrow or the day after. But if he doesn't, I'll find another time to make a stream. But take care.